Hi, this is Theo from punkerblocks.com. This video is going to be a guide and an introduction to the different types of tablets out there in the market for digital artists. On my blog, I have featured more than 30 over reviews for graphic tablets, and some of them are written by myself, some are written by guest artists. There are so many options out there that it can be a bit confusing for beginners who want to look for a new tablet. So in this video, I will talk about the different tablets out there and also the pros and cons of each tablet. To give you a quick overview, first I will be talking about tablets like this, the traditional tablets where you can just draw on the surface. There is no screen whatsoever, but you need to plug this to your computer, but they can be wireless as well. Then I'm going to talk about computer systems like this. This is a Windows tablet, the Microsoft Surface Pro 4. This is a whole computer system by itself, and it's also a tablet. And lastly, I will talk about monitors like this. This is a pen digitizer display. You can draw directly onto the screen itself, and you need to connect this to the computer. So without further ado, I will talk about the more traditional tablets first. This is the traditional tablet that has been around for a very long time. You usually need to plug a cable, a USB cable into your computer before you can use it, and it comes with a pen like this, and you can just draw on the surface. This surface is mapped onto the screen, and let me show you with Photoshop what you can do. So this is the Photoshop software, and the pen, each area here is mapped onto a specific area on the screen. So if you can draw this, you will see the cursor move and it will register like this. Performance, generally speaking, is very good. It's instantaneous. I don't see any lag. This particular model is actually the Wacom Intuos tablet. Now Wacom, the company, also produces another type of tablet called the Intuos Pro. The main differences between Intuos and Intuos Pro is Intuos supports 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity, and the Intuos Pro supports over 2000 levels. But to me personally, I cannot differentiate between 1000 levels and 2000 levels. They are the same to me, so it doesn't really matter. But the other advantage of the Intuos Pro is the pen has tilt sensitivity, so if you tilt your pen at certain angles and draw, you can get different effects to come out, but you don't get that with the Intuos. For some of the pens, they come with the eraser, but for this pen it doesn't come with the eraser, and this pen, by the way, is not battery powered, so you don't need to charge it. Two buttons on the side, and for the tablet, usually sometimes they have buttons, sometimes they do not have buttons. Also, recently I find that there are more wireless tablets coming out. So it's like this tablet, but you can just plug out the wire, install some wireless module, and it will become a wireless tablet. So you can do away with the wires connecting to your computer. But for the case of Intuos, you need to buy the wireless module separately, so that's extra money. So this is the traditional tablet. Let me show you another brand. This is the Huion wireless tablet. This is called the Huion Jiano WH1409. As you can see, the surface is very big. This is almost as big as my 22-inch monitor here. So 1409, that's 14 inches by 9 inches. This is huge. Now, which size should you buy? Now, generally speaking, you should buy a size of tablet that is quite close to the size of your monitor, but maybe not too big. I find that when you buy tablets like this that are too big, if you want to move across the tablet, it can be a bit tiring. So my recommendation is you can get a medium size like this. This is a medium size for monitors that are 19-inch and above. And if your monitor is 19 inches and smaller, you can buy a smaller tablet. So what's good about this tablet? Well, first of all, it's wireless. Second of all, this is a competitor to Wacom, and it is very aggressive in its pricing. If you were to buy a Wacom tablet at this size, it's going to cost you almost $500 US, but this is only around 150 US dollars. So this is really very attractive. Now I want to talk about the pen that this one comes with. This comes with a wireless pen as well. However, for this pen, it is actually battery powered, so you need to charge it. And for this particular pen, you charge it by plugging it into this port that is behind. So this pen does not have an eraser, but this pen also has 2 side buttons and nibs. And this particular tablet also has shortcut buttons. So some tablets don't have shortcut buttons, but this one, it has 12 shortcut buttons and it's wireless, so this is battery powered as well. You can charge this by plugging in the cable to your computer. And one thing about this is it can be quite portable, except it's a bit too big. Huion also sells smaller tablets like this. So those would be the traditional tablets. They are generally speaking quite affordable, but Wacom competitors, they are even more affordable. So right now I want to show you the functionality on this Huion tablet on the Windows machine. This is my Mac, so I'm going to plug the wireless receiver into this Surface Pro 4. So this is the wireless USB receiver that you need in order to work with the Huion wireless tablet. So let me plug this in. Right now I'm using the wireless Huion tablet. I think when you go online to search for reviews, sometimes you will see people complaining about the drivers from Wacom competitors, like they do not work well, they have glitches. Well, personally for me, I do face glitches sometimes, but sometimes the tablets just work perfectly. So it's not entirely true that all Huion tablets have driver problems, because I have readers telling me that their Wacom tablets have driver problems as well. So right now I'm just going to show you one particular issue with Huion drivers that is quite common, which is the jittering line effect. I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me zoom in closer. So I'm going to press the Ctrl plus and move this around. So these lines here, they are a bit wobbly. So this is the default driver, and when I see this kind of behavior, well, I think some professionals, they don't find this acceptable. I think it's not good as well, but you have to install some alternative software to get this to work. So there's this plugin called Lazy Nezumi Pro. You can turn it on. This, by the way, is not free, so you have to spend extra money to buy it. But after you turn it on, you can draw with the same software and the lines become really very smooth. So basically the plugin smooths out the lines, so now you don't see the wobbly effect anymore. That software I think costs about US $30. Earlier on I was talking about the price of Wacom competitors like this. So even after buying the plugin, spending additional money to buy the plugin, this tablet is still going to be so much cheaper compared to the Wacom tablet. So it might still be worthwhile to get a Huion tablet. This is especially true for people who are tight on their budget. So if you have like $100 to spend, you can get either a big tablet from Huion or other brands versus a small tablet from Wacom. Next, I want to talk about computer tablets like the Windows tablets and also the iPad. Basically tablets that you can bring outdoors to draw with. They are sort of like digital sketch pad that allows you to draw anywhere. On the left is the Surface Pro 4, on the right is the iPad. You can also draw on Android tablets. Wacom also have their own version of their Windows tablet, which is called the Wacom Cintiq Companion. Anyway, I have detailed reviews for all these tablets on my website. If you want to check out more details, just go to my website. Today I just want to talk in general about the main advantages. So this is a Windows tablet, so it uses Windows OS, which means that you can install desktop software onto it. So you can install Photoshop, Photoshop is a very powerful graphics software. You generally don't find tablet apps on the iPad that is as powerful as Photoshop, but that doesn't mean that that is good or bad. It just means that it's different, because sometimes you don't want that functionality of Photoshop on a tablet like this. So it brings me to say that it really depends on what you want to achieve on your tablet. So if you want an all-in-one system, then I would say go for the Surface Pro 4, because you have computer system and you can draw on this as well. For the iPad, I feel that it's a bit more limited because there is no OS beneath it, but it has its own advantages, which I'll talk about it later. So this is Photoshop on Surface Pro 4, so you can just draw on it. You can install a lot of things on it, InDesign, Illustrator, and the main thing for me is you can save files onto the file system. Like you can save it onto the desktop, and if you want to upload your files to DeviantArt or Flickr or any other websites, you can do so by visiting their web page and upload directly from your desktop. That is a very good advantage of Windows system. And for this particular tablet, it has one USB port here, so the USB port again is very useful. Now for the iPad has its own share of graphics software as well. Let me see. So they have the most popular Procreate, which is not available on Windows, so that is an amazing software, but other software are pretty good as well. But one thing about the iPad is you need to buy a stylus to draw on the screen. You have to buy your own stylus for the iPad, and that is additional cost. For example, this Apple Pencil, it costs US $100, so it's quite expensive. Even for third-party styluses, they can be quite expensive as well, especially if you were to get those digital stylus that are capable of pressure sensitivity. For example, you can get thin lines and thick lines depending on how hard you press down. So you might want to get those styluses. Drawing on the iPad, I think it's slightly better compared to the Surface Pro 4, because I feel that the Apple Pencil is more sensitive, but this is not like a deal breaker or a significant advantage. It just feels different. It feels slightly better to me. The Surface Pro 4 is still very capable for drawing. My general recommendation has always been this: if you want a laptop replacement that you can draw on, get the Surface Pro 4. If you already have a computer system, if you already have a laptop but you want a digital sketch pad, then I think the iPad might be more suitable for you. Next, let's talk about the pen digitizer display. A pen digitizer display is basically just a monitor that you can draw on. In order to use this, you have to plug this into a power supply, you have to plug the USB cable into your computer so that it can detect the pen on the screen surface. So this is somewhat like the Surface Pro 4 or the iPad, except you need to plug this into a power supply, because this thing is huge, and that is one of the advantages of pen displays like this. You can get them at much larger sizes compared to portable tablet like the Surface Pro 4 or the iPad. Also, with displays like this, I find that the color reproduction is much better, because this is an IPS panel, and you can also install calibration software to make this color accurate. But it really comes down to what type of panel the monitor is using. So if it uses TFT panel, then the color reproduction, the viewing angles is not going to be as good compared to those that use better IPS panels such as this one. So the viewing angle for this is actually quite good, and the color reproduction also quite good as well. So now I'm just going to demonstrate some strokes. As I move the pen on the screen, the mouse cursor will just follow the pen. So I'm just going to draw something here. Now, same thing like drawing on the tablet itself, the pen has pressure sensitivity and it's very intuitive, like on the iPad Surface Pro. The lines appear beneath the pen tip, so this is one good advantage over traditional tablets like this. Now I'm going to show you the differences between this pen and this pen from the Wacom. I'm going to move my tablet cursor somewhere around here and draw the same spiral. You can see that there are actually not much difference. Both the curves are very smooth. They don't have the wobbly effect that I was talking about just now for this particular brand. And the strokes taper quite well, very sensitive, no lag at all. So this is actually sold at a much cheaper price compared to Wacom Cintiq. Wacom Cintiq would be the pen displays from Wacom, and this is sold at several $100s less. So what is the difference? I mean, this is so much cheaper and Wacom is so much more expensive. So what is the difference? Well, to me, really, the difference is only in the price, because when it comes down to drawing itself, the strokes look the same, so performance is the same. Except for Wacom Cintiq, I think they have pen tilt functionality, so if you need those type of special features, then you might do well going with the Wacom. But if you are on budget, again, you can save a lot of money by going for Cintiq alternatives like this. Anyway, I have a lot of reviews for all the various Cintiq alternatives. You can just check it out on my website. I'll post a link in the video description below. And lastly, for pen displays like this, advantage of this is larger screen, sometimes better color reproduction, but really it's all about the larger screen, because usually they come in 19 inches to 22 inches. If you want something even bigger, then you have to go for the Wacom Cintiq, which can go up to 24 inches to 27 inches, but the Wacom Cintiq is going to be much more expensive compared to Wacom alternatives like the XP Pen, the Bosto, Artisu, Innova, UG, Monoprice, and there are just so many brands out there right now. I have reviews for some of those tablets. You might want to check it out on my website, because the price difference is really very significant. It can be up to several hundreds of dollars, Cintiq versus the alternatives. I think that's all for my video guide and introduction today. If you have any other questions, feel free to post them in the comment section just right below. I'll post links to all the reviews of tablets that I have done so far, and also the reviews written by guest artists as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.